Welcome back to the show. Excited to talk to my next guest because I think she will inspire you to take something old and create something new. And she has based an entire business on that. It's a great inspirational story. I'm joined by Heather Jeffery. She is the founder of Re4m Design and Fabrication. Welcome to the show, Heather. Great to have you here. Yeah, I mean, that's the obvious first question. I know the answer because I saw your great story online on your website. But describe to people what your inspiration was behind your business.
Thanks so much. My inspiration was that I worked in retail and I saw how many displays were being thrown out. That encouraged me to do a little bit more research, and I realized through my findings that over 400,000 tons of waste just from the commercial industrial sector alone is put into Ottawa landfills every year. So I was pretty blown away by that, and I was a little disappointed.
Yeah.
So I thought to myself, like, how can I divert some of these materials and repurpose them and turn them into new items?
So tell me what you did with that. You mentioned, it was sort of, I guess, a display case of some kind, probably showcasing some products at a retail store. So tell our viewers at home what you did. You took that and you did what with it?
Yeah, so it had a bunch of light fixtures inside of the display. And what I did was I took the light fixtures and deconstructed them and then turned them into new lights, I suppose you could say, and then sold those. So, yeah, and then it was kind of great because that's kind of what the catalyst was to Re4m, because I was able to sell those light fixtures, and the profits I used to purchase a shipping container, which was my first workshop. And yeah, it just kind of snowballed. Now we're in a 2,000 square foot workshop space, commercial space with offices and storage. So yeah, we collect many different materials, and actually it was so cool to see Museum of Nature on here earlier because we work with them in recycling their retired exhibits.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's really fun. We work with all sorts of materials like plastics and woods and metals, and we deconstruct those old exhibits or materials from renovations or materials from old displays, and we deconstruct it and turn it into new items.
You mentioned the Museum of Nature. You work with a number of other commercial businesses. What are the other types of businesses you're working with?
So we work with retailers and then construction companies, and we work a lot with the Habitat for Humanity Restore as well.
Nice.
And basically, we're always looking for new opportunities to work with businesses who have common materials that they throw away. So we repurpose many different types of things, and yeah, it's really neat. All sorts of different businesses for sure.
We just brought up on screen, you've got an eco market that is coming up at your location. Tell us what people can expect at the eco market.
Yeah, there's going to be over 20 vendors at the eco market, and what they can expect is all sorts of different business types who pursue environmental initiatives. So we can see the list there. That's actually, it's missing a couple vendors that have kind of signed on last minute, but we have makers, we have bakers, we have people who recycle, we have organizations who are promoting sustainable initiatives, and it's going to be located actually at our workshop. So we're hosting the market, and we're expecting couple hundred visitors, and we're really excited about the day this coming Saturday.
Heather, you mentioned your workshop a couple of times. Is that something, just a place for you and your team to work in, or do you put on workshops with others, or are there plans to do that?
We don't put on workshops.
Okay.
It's basically just our studio. Like, this is where we create and we make, and this is also where we store our materials that we collect. And it's in a really interesting neighborhood. We're located in Alta Vista, and we're actually in the back of the property of a residential building. So sometimes it's a little tricky to find, but it's a lovely neighborhood. And yeah, we have a really cool creative space set up here.
You're having a celebration of Earth Day. What's your message to viewers when it comes to celebrating Earth Day, and advice you would give them?
Kind of the only advice I could really give is how I would celebrate Earth Day, and how I would do it is just go outside and enjoy yourself. Like, go outside to a park and walk through it and smell the air and just like get inspired by what's around us instead of being on a screen. Although screens are great sometimes, right?
I mean, it's excellent advice. I think if there's something that's come out of the pandemic, is I think a lot of people have a greater appreciation of nature. I've never seen so many neighbors in my life outdoors than I did during the pandemic. Heather, thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. A reminder that is happening April 23rd, 9:30 to 4 o'clock. We'll be back with more after this.